The first time I met her, I thought I was dreaming. Or maybe hallucinating. She was not like anyone I had ever seen. Her skin shimmered faintly in the soft light of the landing bay, the kind of iridescence that made it seem as though she carried a piece of the cosmos beneath her skin. Her eyes were larger than human, almond-shaped, with flecks of silver that danced when she looked at me. I, a lowly human diplomat sent to negotiate trade terms on Xylar Prime, was supposed to be professional. I wasn't supposed to be staring. "Human," she said, her voice soft yet precise. "I am Lythera." The accent in her speech was musical, a harmony I couldn't place. "I will be assisting you during your stay." I nodded, trying to hide my awe. The aliens of Xylar Prime were renowned for their beauty, their intelligence, and, frankly, their intimidating aura. I had been briefed. Do not stare, do not touch, do not offend. Yet here I was, failing at all three in my mind. The first days were uncomfortable. Lythera guided me through palace protocols, diplomatic nuances, and cultural taboos I didn't even know existed. I stumbled, apologized, and stumbled again. She never mocked me, only corrected gently. Something in the patience of her gaze made my chest tighten, though I didn't understand why. On the third day, a minor crisis occurred. A group of miners had accidentally trespassed into sacred caves. The council demanded immediate human accountability. I was terrified. Lythera's response surprised me. Instead of allowing the council to roast me, she spoke on my behalf, her voice resonating with authority. They did not know. Humans are new to our planet. We must guide, not punish. I was stunned. The council accepted her reasoning. Later, when we were alone, I said, "You saved me back there." Her silver eyes softened. Perhaps. Or perhaps I saved what is necessary. She didn't elaborate, and I didn't press. But something unspoken lingered between us. Days turned into weeks. I began to understand her world, and in turn, she began to share glimpses of herself. I learned that Lythera came from a line of diplomats, but also a line of rulers. Her family was formidable. And yes, according to Xylar customs, their influence extended far beyond politics. They had the right to shape personal destinies, including marriage arrangements. I laughed nervously when she first mentioned it, thinking she was joking. Marriage? To me? She tilted her head, expression unreadable. My family wishes it. You are human. Different. Promising. I choked on my tea. You're serious? Entirely. I didn't know whether to be terrified or flattered. Marrying an alien? The thought was absurd, yet exhilarating. And yet, my heart didn't feel absurd when I looked at her. The first meeting with her family was daunting. The Council of Elders sat in a semicircle, their eyes gleaming with curiosity and scrutiny. They were vast, imposing, and inhumanly beautiful, with faces that seemed carved from starlight. Lythera introduced me. "This is human," she hesitated, as if tasting the word on her tongue. "He is my chosen companion." Gasps rippled through the council. Not many humans had ever been invited to their chambers, let alone offered such consideration. I bowed deeply, words failing me. The questioning began. They asked about my world, my morality, my strength. Each question was probing, designed not to insult, but to dissect. I answered as honestly as I could, telling them about our history, our triumphs, our failures. Slowly, their skepticism ebbed. By the end, I sensed a grudging respect. Then Lythera did something unexpected. She reached for my hand, not fully, just a brush of fingertips against mine. "Do you understand," she whispered, "that our worlds are different? That choosing this path is not simple?" I think so," I said. Truthfully, I didn't know if I did. But when I looked into her eyes, I knew one thing. I wanted this, whatever it would cost. The next few months were a whirlwind. My presence on Xylar Prime became more than diplomatic. It became personal. I trained with her in their customs, learned their rituals, and walked their ceremonial halls under her patient guidance. And every time I faltered, she was there, sometimes correcting, sometimes smiling, sometimes silently encouraging. The real challenge came during the ceremony of concord, a rite of passage for any union her family sanctioned. I was to demonstrate not only my loyalty, but my courage. The trial was held in the Veil of Stars, an open expanse lit by 1,000 floating luminescent plants. I faced the trial with nothing but my human wits and courage, and, of course, the weight of 1,000 eyes upon me. The challenge was not physical but moral. I had to negotiate peace between two warring factions of Xylarian clans, using only reasoning and empathy. It was terrifying. Every instinct screamed at me to retreat, to fight, to flee, but I remembered Lythara's faith in me. By the end, I succeeded. The clans accepted the peace. The council's nod of approval was subtle but unmistakable. And Lythara, she smiled. A smile that melted the barriers I hadn't realized I'd built around myself. Later, under the twin moons, she approached me. "Human," she said, her voice trembling slightly, "my family wants us married. Will you accept this life with me?" I didn't hesitate. "Yes," I said. Her laughter, soft, musical, entirely unearthly, filled the night. She reached out, holding my hand fully this time. And for the first time, I understood that life had shifted irreversibly. I was no longer just a human diplomat. I was a partner, a companion, and a part of a world I had never imagined. The wedding was a quiet affair by human standards, but grand beyond measure for Xylar. Crystalline arches shimmered, and every guest radiated their natural luminescence. I watched Lythara step forward, radiant and confident, and felt a pride that transcended species. When the ceremony concluded, she leaned close and whispered, "You are home now, human." And she was right. I had come to Xylar Prime as a visitor, an outsider. But through courage, trust, and an unexpected connection with an extraordinary alien, I found a place I could belong. My life had changed forever, not through politics, not through duty, but through love. In that moment, under alien stars, I realized that humans were remarkable not despite our differences, but because of them. And as I looked at Lythara, I understood that she had taught me the most important lesson of all, to embrace the unknown, to stand firm in who you are, and to trust that even in worlds far from home, humans can shine.